Hey guys, so to start off with the next story, um, I'm gonna go ahead and go all the way back to like when I was a little kid. Um, so a lot of people may already know this, but I was actually adopted. And with me being adopted, I have um, two biological sisters and a brother. But I never met one of my sisters and my brother. I mean, I did actually meet my brother, but we're not gonna get to that yet. But one of my sisters was adopted with me. So one reason why we were adopted was because our biological mother had bipolar and schizophrenia. So she was a little crazy. She tried killing all of us. So it got to the point that my grandpa, um, who was related to my biological grandma, so the family I'm adopted into actually biologically is still my family. Um, they're still my bloodline. But like my grandma, my birth grandma, and her brother, so what would have been my great uncle, but he is my grandpa now. Um, they were talking, and so my mom and my dad now they decided to go through the training to adopt me and my sister. Um, and that took a very long time, and they had to go to special training because of the situation that me and my sister were in. Like we were you know, in a family where my mom was trying to kill us. So they had to go through a special training to be able to adopt that kind of child, let alone two of them. So we were adopted and we were given by our new parents a stuffed animal. It was just a little bear. Um, and growing up, everyone thought that we were going to be, okay, because for a while we were. But my sister would always act up. So I was told by my mom we went in and out of multiple different um, foster homes because my sister just couldn't act right. Like she was constantly messing up, constantly getting in trouble. And so we were adopted into a family where my mom is actually biologically I'm her second cousin. I think that's how it goes. Um, and then we had two brothers. However, um, my sister was always getting into trouble. She was always breaking things, always stealing things, all this other stuff. Growing up, she would steal my mom's jewelry and then go to school and like give it away to people. Um, However, my sister was always jealous, and my mom thinks it's like jealous of me, and my mom thinks it's because some members of the family kind of essentially favored me over my sister. Um, I don't really understand why. I don't understand favoring kids at all. But apparently, members of the family favored me. I know my cousin Robert admitted that he favored me. So, but for a while, it seemed like my dad favored her to the point that my sister tried killing me multiple times. One of the first times that she tried killing me, she had tried to poison me. We were cleaning the house, it was the summer, and we were both only in elementary school. My brother at this time, it was his first year in middle school. And so we were at the house, it was summertime, we were cleaning, and um, I was working on the doors and trying to get it to work. My sister had gone downstairs, grabbed a little mini cup, and she put WD 40, she put some dish soap in it, some detergent, bleach, and then she topped it off with whipped cream and put a cherry. She also put some like chocolate mix in it to make it look like it was a chocolate milkshake. Me being so young as I was, when she said, "Here's a chocolate milkshake," because you're, sitting here doing all of this stuff and you're so busy and you're doing my chores, because I asked you to. Even though she had actually forced me into it, she would like twist my arm or nearly break my arm multiple times to try and force me into doing stuff. And so she handed me the milkshake, saying it was for me, and I was about to drink it, but my brother um, had like the youngest brother, not my oldest brother. The oldest brother I think is like 25 or something like that now. My brother is about to be 22. But he had the one that's about to be 22 at that time. He was, I think, 12 or 13, and he had caught my sister trying to do that. And so he came and he took it away from her, and he started yelling and screaming at her, like, why are you trying to poison my little sister? Like, he was very, very furious. She would continue to try and kill me. She beat my head in with a bat, which actually to this day has caused some serious issues for me. Um, I get chronic migraines daily. Every single day I have a migraine, and um, I have to take some medicine because of it. It doesn't go away. It's one of the reasons that played into me not being able to go to the military. There's other reasons to it, which I'll get to that in a later video. Um, but it it became a traumatic experience for me. I caught PTSD from my sister trying to kill me all the time and trying to beat me. There were times where at night I would wake up and she's choking me. I'm not sure if she knew that she was choking me because she did tend to sleepwalk, but she was choking me. Um, my brothers also didn't like her, like, or didn't trust her, especially at night, because she would, like I said, she tends to sleepwalk. So one night my brother went downstairs to get a drink, and when he was coming upstairs, my sister was standing at the top of the stairs looking down at him, but she was kind of asleep, but she was staring down at him, just standing there for like 5 minutes straight, standing down at him. It was creepy. Another time, both of my brothers had their door locked. Like their bedroom door was locked. But yet, somehow, my sister got into their room at night while they were sleeping. My brother wakes up and she's just standing there, staring at him. After my sister had tried killing me a few times, she said that she only wanted it to be her and my mom. And that she would make threats against the family to me, killing all of the family that we had here, or had there, because I'm now in Kansas, but this is all in Tennessee. And it seriously terrified me. Like, the idea of me not having my brothers, or me not having my dad, or me not having anyone in that family, because my sister's so jealous and wants to kill them all, so it's just her and my mom. But at the same time, she would try to pin me against my mom and against everybody else in the family by writing these stories and telling me these absurd stories, saying that my mom drove off in her car with my sister hanging onto the doornail, like, not doornail, hanging onto the doorknob, that my mom like drove away for like 20 blocks with my sister dangling on the outside of the door. It's like, first off, if that had happened, why would you want it to be just you and that woman if she had really done that? And second off, you actually would have been dead, so it doesn't really match up. But she would always come up with elaborate things like that. But I feel that part of some of them were actually things that maybe my birth mom did. Like, she did say one time that our now mom had drowned us. But what really happened was my biological mom, our biological mom, when we were little kids, when I was just a baby, my biological mom tried to drown me and my sister in the bathtub. But that is that's not these moms. But she tried to say it was this mom. Try to pin me against her. It never really worked. Me and my mom just didn't get along for other reasons, but not necessarily for that. But she would always try. Like, she would try to do anything to get me against her, or to get her against me, so that we wouldn't have a relationship, and so that it would be easier for her to make it just her and my mom. Like, that's what her whole goal was. She couldn't get what she wanted, so she tried killing herself one day. She went to school, took my brother's medication, because at this time he was having back issues, because someone had thrown an extremely sharp rock and it stabbed into his back, and his back was like turned to mush. And so because of that, he wasn't able to play football and stuff like that for a little while. And my sister stole his medication, went to school, and overdosed on all of it. She like poured every single one of them down her throat. Her friend witnessed it. She went running, grabbed a teacher, and was like, Mary's trying to kill herself. imagine my reaction to knowing that my sister tried killing herself because she couldn't kill me. Okay, interesting. She then tries to say that no one in the family loves her because no one went to go see her, or that my dad hated her. And she would always like pin me against my dad about his alcoholic. And I'm like, okay, I know he's an alcoholic. I know he has issues. But at the same time, that's not a reason to sit there and wish that he was dead. That's not a reason to try and pin his daughter against him. Like, it just doesn't match up. But she would always do that. She was like constantly beating me, constantly trying to force the adoption on me. And my dad eventually told me. But my sister would complain that he never went to see her in the hospital. But the truth is, he did. What had happened was he got off of work, went to the hospital, went to see her, and was so brokenhearted that his daughter tried killing herself that he couldn't go back there because it was too painful for him to see her in that state. I mean, it's reasonable. I mean, a father who loves his daughters dearly, like, they're not his blood, but he wishes that we were his blood. Because I remember when he told me about the adoption, he was like, your sister's right, because she was forcing it on me, beating me to try and believe it. And he was like, your sister's right, you guys are adopted. And he broke down crying because we aren't his blood. And it made him so upset. So, of course, he would be upset to the point that, his daughter that he loved dearly, that he thought of his own blood, tried killing herself. And it just became so painful and such a burden. Like, he did not want to have to go back to that hospital and see her in that state, is laying on the bed and going into a mental hospital because she was trying to kill herself. He could not do that. It hurt him way too much to do that. And I told her this, and she was like, I don't believe you. You're lying. Like, no. Dad loved you more than anything, to the point that it was just too unbearable, too painful to see you there. But she wouldn't stop, and she was constantly trying to, I don't know. She even at one point lied to the cops, saying that my dad sexually molested her so that he could get arrested. To this day, it has caused him issues with getting jobs, because even though he was found innocent and my sister was inspected and it was proven that she was lying, for other people trying to give him interviews, they just see it as, because it was even a point of question about whether or not he did, they didn't want to hire him. So it took him a very long time to finally get a job, just because of that thing that my sister did to him. But now she's coming around, and if it's anything, she doesn't want my mom around. She doesn't talk to my mom. She hates my mom. And, like, because of that, it's just, like, I don't know. She's just not really smart about it. And now she's, like, trying to be buddy-buddy with my dad. And my dad, stupidly enough, is falling for it. But at the same time, she'll still try and contact me and still try and say, oh, I don't like dad. I don't care for dad. He's not my dad. He's Jason. And it's like, you can't do that. Like, you can't sit there and butter him up saying that you love him, but then turn around and say that you hate him. Like, you just can't. But she'll still continue to threaten me now with beatings. And so because of that, and me having that PTSD, I go to bed some nights and I wake up screaming, because the only thing I can see in my mind is my sister coming back and killing me and those around me. Like, she'll kill everyone around me first, and then she'll kill me. There were some that were so brutal that I saw my mother's head in a box on my doorstep. And that's the thing that gets me, because I just realized I moved. Both doors have stairs. The doorstep from the dream is the exact same one as the side right out here. And it's terrifying me, because there are a lot of times where I'll have dreams and they actually come true. Like, there's so many times. And I just realized that I had a dream about me being with my friend Kira and driving down her driveway, and and stuff like that, and us talking and everything. And that actually happened. That exact same dream happened just the other day. Like, and now I'm kind of worried because if my dreams often sometimes come true, I am terrified that one of these days I'm gonna wake up, go outside, and there's a box on my door that's got blood dripping out of it, and it's gonna be my mother's head. And I'm terrified. Like, that is how bad my childhood was with my sister, of her doing that stuff to me. Now, granted, once we got a little bit older and I became a teenager, she did move. She moved to Dallas, Texas. But I still have those dreams of her coming back and killing me. Um, while she's been in Texas, she's tried contacting me a few times, and it's gotten to the point that I don't want her knowing a single thing about me. I don't want her knowing where I am. I don't want her knowing who I'm friends with. I don't want her knowing if I'm dating anyone and what their names are, who they are. I don't want her knowing a single thing about me because I'm terrified if she does know that something's going to happen. And I don't want that. She has no right anymore to my life. She's changed her name because she doesn't want to be part of our family. So if that's the case, to me, she's not really my sister anymore. But she'll sit there and try and contact me, trying to act all sisterly like she loves me, and then she'll start yelling at me. And one time she's even gotten her boyfriend or fiance, whatever the heck he is, to threaten me. It's like, why would you sit there and pretend that you're my sister and pretend that you love me and then have your boyfriend threaten my life? So obviously she hasn't changed, and it's just something that's always haunted me. So my lesson here for you guys is the issue with us is we never told anybody about my sister. We never told any cops. And people hear my story and they're like, why didn't you call the cops? My mom didn't want to. My parents didn't want to. They didn't want to admit that they had made a mistake maybe with her, and they didn't want to have to see their daughter get arrested for trying to kill their other daughter. Like, it would just be too painful. They thought that they could handle it, but they couldn't, because clearly I have head issues to this day because of it. So it never worked, but they never said anything. But for those of you out there, and if you're getting abused by somebody in your family, I don't care what your parents say. Please report that. You make the opportunity. You take that chance to call the police this second you get the chance. I don't care what your parents say. I don't care if your parents fight with you or beg you not to because they don't want to see, they don't want that humiliation. No. Because if you don't, one of these days, if that person can either abuse you to the point you're in the hospital or abuse you to the point where you're like me and you have migraines every single day and you're in constant pain all the time because your migraines don't ever go away. Medication barely helps. The only thing for me is medication, sleep, wake up, eat food, more medication. That's how I get through my day. I have to take my medication at least 3 times a day in order for it to work. And it's migraine medicine. Like, it's supposed to be the best migraine medicine that there is. But because of my sister and what she's done, the best migraine medicine doesn't always work for me. So there are days I'll be at work and it gets too loud because I'm at Jimmy John's. And it gets way too loud. And when it gets too loud, I can't focus right. Because if I don't have medicine, it starts ringing in my ears, and that ringing, and it hurts. And it always starts on the side of the head, which is right here, where she had beaten me. So all right in this area, this entire time. It starts right here, and it expands to the rest of my head, and it's unbearable. And so there are days like I will break down into tears because my head hurts too much, or I'll end up getting sick from it. I get dizzy, and that dizziness makes me nauseous, and I end up throwing up everywhere. And it's like the worst thing in the world. So, guys, if you're getting abused by someone in your family, please report it immediately. If your parents don't want you to, I don't care. Report it. Like, you have to report it. Because if my parents had just shut up, swallowed their pride, and reported my sister, I probably wouldn't be like this right now. Now, not to say that this is all my mom's fault or all my dad's fault. Absolutely not. you can understand where they're coming from. Like, they don't want to be known as a family that their daughter is psychopathic and crazy. Even though we kind of already are, because everyone at school knows my sister and they know how crazy she was. There are a lot of people that come up to me saying like, "Oh, you're her sister," and they're terrified that I'm like her, and so they don't want to be friends with me until they find out that I'm not. I'm nothing like her. I'm the complete opposite of her. I'm the girl that I want to be friends with everybody. I'm the girl where I'm going to constantly talk to you. I'm going to constantly be there for you. If you're going through abusement, I know what you're going through, and I'm going to talk to you. And I know what you're going through because of my sister and also because of someone else, which I will get to that in another time. But it's never easy. It's never easy being that person that has that sister. That's partly why I moved to Kansas, because I can start a new life here. People don't know me as Lucy Steele, the girl that has this kind of sister. People think of me as Ms. Ruthie Steele. Like, I am Ms. Ruthie. I have an amazing job at Boys and Girls Club. And a lot of those kids are going through similar things that I went through. So they find comfort in talking to me because for them it's Miss Ruthie, someone that understands me. I come here, I have friends that don't know what I went through. They don't know my background, so they can't use it against me. Um, I have basically a family here. Like, I have my roommates that I love so much, and they're always there for me. Especially Chris. He's always there for me. I have my best friend Kira. She's like a sister to me. I have my church. I have all of these things surrounding me now as a strong base and a strong foundation to build myself into somebody that I always wanted to be, that I couldn't be back home because of the things I went through with my sister. But I probably could have been those things if we had taken that step and reported my sister when we should have. So if you guys need to report something, or you guys ever even need someone to talk to, or you need or if you're asking, hey, should I report this, then please slide up, or not really slide up, I think it was Snapchat, but just like comment, say your name, comment what it is you're going through, and your number or some sort of contact information, and then I'll contact you and we can talk together and work this out. But just know that I know what you're going through. There are so many people out there that have a lot of things that they have wrong with their lives, and I know exactly what you're going through, and I'm always here to help. So that's my story for this night. Anyways, bye guys. Love you.